Patrick Mahomes only a 95 in Madden, the Cleveland Browns QB mess, and Cam Ward thinks that the Titans are good? All that coming up on This Week in Totally Real Football News. Welcome to Totally Real Football News. I'm Kevin Crow. Pittsburgh Steelers defensive captain Cameron Hayward says he's willing to miss games while waiting for a contract extension. There's a decent chance that it is about the money, but it's also possible that he took one look at Aaron Rodgers moving like this in practice and said, yeah, nah, I'm good. Speaking of Rodgers, he's getting settled in at Steelers camp, but he has a major problem with the new helmet that he has to wear. Said Rodgers, it looks like a damn spaceship. It's kind of weird that Rodgers doesn't like it then, right? Considering that he spends about half of his free time taking psychedelics and talking to the cosmos. The quarterback's frustration continues to grow, though, and it's only a matter of time before he complains about being surrounded by assholes.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Moving on to the AFC North division rival, the Cleveland Browns. Browns superstar Myles Garrett was caught doing 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone. When asked to step out of the car, Garrett ripped off the police officer's helmet and cracked him in the head with it. 100 miles an hour in a 60, that's 40 over the limit, nearly double the number. Upon hearing the news, North Carolina coach Bill Belichick said, "Those are rookie numbers, Myles. Let me know when you're doing 73 and a 24. Garrett's teammate Shedeur Sanders has been the talk of the past week as he looked good in the Browns' preseason opener, going 12 for 23 for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, Sanders is currently dealing with a strained oblique and is likely to miss the Browns' next preseason game. Upset about the situation, Browns quarterback Joe Flacco said, "Dang, if there were only a quarterback on this roster who has thrown for 4,755 yards and 32 touchdowns in his last 17 starts." Yeah, those are Joe Flacco's real numbers. Look it up. The Falcons and the Titans held a joint practice in which some of the players got into a bit of a scuffle. One of the players involved was Falcons' second-year quarterback Michael Penix Jr. It's not completely clear what started the altercation, but I have a feeling that maybe some of the Titans players were watching the news when this popped up on the screen. Tennessee Titans rookie quarterback Cam Ward has been everything the coaches hoped he would be, showing up at 5 a.m. to practice, looking sharp at camp. Cam Ward even said that he believes the Titans can have a top 10 offense in the NFL. Scoff if you want to, but Calvin Ridley isn't the only weapon in the Titans' passing game. They also have this little stick of dynamite named Tyler Lockett. Ever heard of him? Sure, his receptions, yards, and touchdowns have been drastically dropping every year, but this was before he became part of this dynamic offense that also includes superstars Van Jefferson and Mason Kinsey. Personally, I have zero doubt that they can be a top 10 offense in the AFC South. Madden 26 has arrived along with the usual player ratings controversy. For example, Tyreek Hill, a dude who is nicknamed the Cheetah, is only a 98 in speed. And Patrick Mahomes, the guy that many were willing to put into the GOAT conversation just a couple of seasons ago, is only a 95 overall. He's ranked as the 4th best quarterback behind Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, both of whom are 99 overall, and Joe Burrow, who's a 97 overall. Mahomes said, "I've got to play and showcase that stuff on the field. I believe that if I go out there and play the football I want to play, we can get to 99 pretty quickly." Unfortunately for Mahomes, I'm not sure 99 is achievable, since Madden added 2 new attributes: tolerable sibling and tolerable spouse. And now what Chiefs and NFL fans have been waiting impatiently for. Taylor Swift went on the New Heights podcast to announce her 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl. On the podcast, Swift said that the album is about the behind-the-scenes stuff that took place during her record-breaking Eras tour. So I guess it's pretty much like Hard Knocks, but for music. And unlike the teams usually featured on Hard Knocks, it should be pretty good. The 2025 season of Hard Knocks will feature the Buffalo Bills, who just signed running back James Cook to a 4-year, $48 million deal. This 4-year plan by Buffalo also includes them going to and losing the Super Bowl for the next 4 years to give fans what they've been sorely missing the past few decades. Speaking of contracts, the Commanders and wide receiver Terry McLaurin are at an impasse when it comes to getting a contract extension done. One of the reasons listed as to why Washington is hesitant is McLaurin's age. The receiver turns 30 in September. That's a tough decision, Washington. Should we let the best player on the team go? Or pay him and potentially make a deep playoff run? I'm not really sure why Washington would be gun-shy when it comes to giving out big contracts. Running back Matt Breida is retiring after 7 NFL seasons. If you're like me, you had no idea that he was still in the league at all. This is truly devastating news for that one guy in your fantasy league who picked up Matt Breida off the waiver wire in 2018 and won his fantasy league. My thoughts are with you. In more Niners news, San Francisco is eyeing a Week 6 return for wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk is coming off a brutal injury. A torn ACL and MCL suffered in Week 7 against the Chiefs last year. A Week 6 return should be perfect, though, because it'll be just in time for Christian McCaffrey to get hurt, opening up a roster spot. That one might have been a little in poor taste. Sorry, please don't get hurt, Christian. You know that you're not watching ESPN right now because I've gone several minutes without talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Well, that changes right now. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has been dealing with stage 4 melanoma and says that an experimental drug saved his life. I was saved by a fabulous treatment and great doctors and a real miracle drug called PD-1 therapy, Jones told the Dallas Morning News. I now have no tumors. Personally, my fear is that this PD-1 miracle drug will have a similar effect on Jerry Jones that experimental drugs had on Norman Osborn in Spider-Man, and soon we'll see Jerry Jones gliding around Jerry World, calling himself the Seafoam Green Goblin. Unfortunately for Jones, one side effect of this miracle drug is calling your star players by the wrong name.
Of all the players that I've ever negotiated with, Michael Parson is as savvy and knowledgeable and understanding of his financial business relative to football as any player I've ever been around.
Packers quarterback Jordan Love had surgery on Tuesday to repair a ligament in his thumb, but he is expected to be 100% and ready to go by Week 1. Packers fans are just thankful to have a quarterback where the only drama is on the field. For now. Just give it a few years, though, and maybe he'll start texting inappropriate pictures, or misappropriating welfare funds, or disappearing on ayahuasca trips, or lying about being vaccinated. Who knows? That's it for this week in Totally Real Football News. I'm Kevin Crow. Good night.
Totally Real Football News is brought to you by Oceanic Airlines.